The story begins at a large dojo where Beryl, a brown-haired man, is tiredly wiping the sweat from his face after a training session. A white-haired girl in armor, Alusha, approaches him and tells Beryl that she has something important to discuss. The atmosphere becomes tense as she looks at him seriously, and the people around them also seem concerned. After creating a dramatic pause, Alusha unexpectedly suggests that they go shopping for some new clothes for Beryl. Both Beryl and the others around him are taken aback and stunned by her suggestion, creating a humorous moment, followed by the sound of a church bell signaling the end of the amusing introduction. The scene shifts back to the dojo, where Beryl, Alusha, and two of his students, Karuni and Black, are sitting and talking. Alusha announces that a delegation from Svenigerdvania will soon be visiting. She seems jealous and irritated upon learning that someone else had already discussed this with Beryl before her. The conversation continues as they discuss how the knights will be tasked with protecting important figures during the visit. Alusha explains that Beryl is a special guide appointed by the royal family and will need to meet the royals, so he must have suitable clothing. Initially, Beryl plans to buy clothes on his own, but Alusha firmly opposes. She explains that Beryl is unfamiliar with the shops in the capital and suggests that she will take him to a reputable tailor. Eventually, Beryl reluctantly agrees to let her take care of everything. Alusha is pleased when he agrees. After Alusha leaves, Beryl feels slightly embarrassed by how thoroughly she's taking care of him. His two students begin to gossip about Alusha's enthusiastic attitude, wondering if she is acting this way simply because Beryl is her teacher or if there's another reason. The final scene shifts to Beryl's house, where a purple-haired girl informs him that a package has arrived for him. When Beryl opens the drawer, inside is a white dress with pleats and a letter. He looks at the item with a confused expression, unable to understand why he's received this. The story continues with Beryl, an older man, and Mui, the green-haired girl, as Beryl receives a gift package containing clothes and a letter from Ibroy, an acquaintance. When Beryl shows Mui the dresses, she expresses her dislike, thinking they are too fancy and not suited for her. Beryl gently tells her to pick the outfit she likes, and they later go out for dinner. This scene highlights the fatherly, guardian relationship between Beryl and Mui, with Beryl being very caring and gentle, while Mui is rough and tomboyish, disinterested in feminine things. During dinner, Beryl mentions that he has an important task ahead, protecting a high-profile person, and will need to buy formal clothes. He tells Mui that he plans to go shopping with Alusha, the silver-haired girl from the guild, tomorrow afternoon. Beryl invites Mui to come along, but she firmly refuses. Beryl is confused and inwardly wonders why girls at her age are so hard to understand. Mui's reaction suggests that she feels jealous or uncomfortable when Beryl mentions Alusha, implying that Mui cares deeply for Beryl and doesn't want to share him with another woman, which creates a humorous situation since Beryl doesn't realize it. Later, Beryl waits outside the guild headquarters for Alusha. She appears in casual clothing, a white shirt and blue skirt, instead of her usual knight armor, which surprises Beryl, who compliments her. Alusha, a bit embarrassed, explains that wearing armor to go shopping would be a bit strange. This is a sign that Alusha may have feelings for Beryl, as she wants to make a good impression on their outing together. The two are being followed by Celestine and Percival, other members of the guild, who are curious about the date between Alusha and Beryl. Celestine eagerly speculates where they might go, while Percival feels awkward and admits he's curious. Beryl and Alusha arrive at an upscale clothing store, where Beryl feels out of place. Alusha picks a flamboyant outfit for him, but Beryl is horrified and decides to choose a simpler, more practical outfit. Although Alusha thinks his choice is a bit dull, she respects his decision. After shopping, Alusha suggests they go for lunch. They go to an elegant restaurant, and while Beryl feels overwhelmed, he appreciates that Alusha chose the place. Alusha is overjoyed inside, seeing this as a real date. The two guild members continue to follow them and comment from a distance, making Percival feel embarrassed when teased about their own date. The scene ends as evening approaches, and Beryl and Alusha leave the restaurant. Beryl feels guilty for taking Alusha to so many places but ultimately choosing the outfit he had intended to buy from the beginning. Alusha replies that it's okay as long as he likes it. The final scene reinforces Alusha's thoughtful care for Beryl, as she puts his satisfaction above her own preferences. The story begins with Beryl, an older man, and Alusha, the silver-haired girl, walking together on a cobblestone street at sunset. Beryl comments on the clothes they selected from the first store, and Alusha smiles, reassuring him that as long as Beryl likes them, that's what matters. The scene shifts to a brief flashback, where Beryl comforts a younger Alusha, who is crying in fear. He apologizes for not being there for her from the start and tries to cheer her up by suggesting they go for a meal. This act of kindness shows Beryl's deep care for Alusha. Back in the present, Alusha recalls how they never had a chance to go out for a meal back then and expresses that they have finally had that opportunity. Beryl is puzzled, not understanding her meaning. After saying goodbye, Alusha stops and watches Beryl walk away. Alusha's students, Karuni and Henblitz, are observing and discussing how Alusha keeps looking after Beryl. Henblitz decides to step forward and ask Alusha directly, "What is Beryl to you?" Alusha turns back, her expression serious, and prepares to answer the question. The next morning, at the Knight's training ground, Karuni apologizes to Henblitz for running away the night before and admits she was shocked by his boldness. Alusha unexpectedly appears in full combat armor, surprising both of her students. She announces that she will commandeer the training ground to have a one-on-one duel with Beryl, which shocks her students even more. Alusha explains that this will serve as proof of Beryl's strength before introducing him to the royals. And if she wins, she will confess her feelings to him. Karuni realizes Alusha's intention and becomes worried about her confessing to Beryl. When Beryl arrives, he is surprised to see Alusha on the training ground at this hour. She formally challenges him to a duel, and Beryl agrees. The battle begins, and Alusha charges at him with incredible speed. Beryl manages to block her attacks but is pushed back, feeling the immense power behind her strikes. Through his inner thoughts, Beryl admits that her attacks are so fast he can't even see them clearly. Realizing that Alusha is serious, the duel promises to be fierce. The story continues with Beryl and Alusha facing off in an intense fight. Beryl, on the defensive, realizes that Alusha is using all of her strength. She strikes quickly, without any warning before each move, which makes Beryl understand that Alusha doesn't see this as a mere training match. Although he is being overwhelmed, Beryl acknowledges that Alusha is serious and has reached an extremely high level of skill. As the fight progresses, an observer, seemingly a mentor, notices that Alusha's attacks have no clear indications beforehand, showing her refined swordsmanship. Beryl, feeling like he can't just keep defending, decides to switch to offense, showing his combat experience and ability to adapt in battle. The fight continues with increasing tension, and Beryl begins to realize that while he can't defeat Alusha in a fair duel, he can create opportunities using his experience and tricks. Beryl executes a surprise move, throwing his sword beneath Alusha's feet, defeating her in an unexpected action. After winning, Beryl gently teaches Alusha an important lesson. Her swordsmanship is too clean and conventional, whereas real combat might require unorthodox tactics. After the match, Lucy asks Alusha if she would have confessed to Beryl if she had won. Alusha denies it, explaining that she simply wanted Beryl to buy her a new outfit as a sign of respect and affection for him. The final scene shows Beryl and Mui, the green-haired girl, having dinner together. Beryl explains the student-teacher relationship between him and Alusha, clarifying that the duel wasn't a love bet, but an important lesson. The story ends with the misunderstanding being cleared up and the relationships between the characters being clarified. The duel wasn't just a test of strength but also an examination of growth, respect, and the teacher-student relationship between Beryl and Alusha.